The 84th Texas legislature wrapped up earlier this month. In recent weeks, we've heard from most members of El Paso State delegation on the bills passed during this session. Joining us today is State Representative Mary Gonzalez. Hi.
Hi, I'm glad to be here today.
I'm glad to see you. You know, it was a really busy session. I want to first talk about your committee appointments. You were on the House Committee on Agriculture and Livestock, but you were also on Public Education. El Paso actually hasn't had someone on Public Ed since 1979, I believe.
For decades, El Paso has been underrepresented on the Public Ed Committee. The fact of my background as an educator, I'm finishing a PhD in education, my commitment to be aware of education policy, the Speaker granted me a seat on the Education Policy Committee, and it was the perfect timing for El Paso. We talked about pre-K, we've been talking about public school finance, we've been talking about school accountability, and this is really a time where our borderland needed a representation on the committee, so I'm glad to be that voice.
Well, you know, speaking of education, we had Representative Moody on the program a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about how there are a lot of pressing issues, specifically in education. You know, the Texas education system has been deemed unconstitutional, yet nothing really gets done, nothing significant when it comes to education. What do you think about that? Why does that happen?
I think education policy is really complex. So to move complex pieces of legislation over a 140-day period when you're simultaneously dealing with the budget and other legislative priorities, sometimes it takes a long time for these big issues to get moved. I think this session I'm proud that we did address we addressed pre-K, so we're expanding statewide pre-K. We also addressed standardized testing. We limited the amount of standardized testing, but of course there's still a lot to do. We have to do something about public school finance. We really still need to look at what kind of accountability system we have. We have to look at how we're taking care of our teachers. So there's still things left to be done, but we did do some things this session. And I'm just glad to be on the committee this session to represent El Paso and all of our schools and our students.
Now, you know, you were really on the forefront of an issue that has gotten national attention, and that's about revenge porn. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So victims, primarily women who were victims of revenge porn, had no way of having civil or criminal penalties attached to their experience. So what happens is, I'm in a relationship with somebody and they take intimate photos of me or a video, and then we break up, and in an effort to cause revenge on our relationship, the person will sell those videos and photos to people online. When you heard the testimony of these women, it was devastating. So one woman who testified, she said her ex posted her pictures, and then when she contacted the website, instead of the website taking down her pictures, they put a map to her house, her Twitter handle, her Facebook page, and she was harassed. She lost her job. She had to move. And before this bill, there was no recourse for her. So because of this bill I worked on with Senator Garcia from Houston, we now have civil and criminal penalties. And this is the model legislation that other states are looking at to put in for protections of their citizens.
You know, in 2015, Representative Gonzalez, you were inducted into the El Paso Women's Hall of Fame, the youngest inductee of the year. And you're one of the youngest legislators as well. Do you see yourself having a longer future in politics? What happens next?
Sure, I see myself having a longer future in general, so definitely. But I was really honored to be inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame. My mom wasn't as excited. She's like, "Can't they wait till you're at least 40?" But no, it was an exciting moment for my family and for myself. We've done a lot of work to break the glass ceiling, fight for El Paso, fight for the Lower Valley, and was humbled that people were recognizing the hard work that we had done. I love waking up every day and feeling like I make a difference. So do I see myself doing the political world forever, or for at least the near future? Possibly, probably. All I know is that my ultimate goal is to create a more socially just and humane world. And I'm doing that through politics, and I hope to continue that in anything I do.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you.
Thank you, Maria. Good to see you too. Hope to see you again.
I've known you since we were like 14, 15 years old. I know. All right. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.